It must be time to sip a little tea. I got to tell you, I'm cheating today because it's 5,000 degrees, and I was at H Mart in Koreatown, and I stopped in a Cafe Concerto and got an amazing strawberry mojito lemonade blend. So I'm sipping some lemonade today, given how hot it is. Thank you for joining. Please share, share, share so other people can tune in because we've got a lot of information to share today. I hope everybody has stayed cool and hydrated um, during this hot, hot summertime. It's summertime, so, hello. So again, please like and share so folks will join us from your contacts. A couple things. I got a great guest today. I think you all like it when I invite county leaders to join us. And so you're going to hear from a county leader who's got a lot of important information to share with you very shortly. Couple quick updates from me. Woo, FIFA is over. Woo, thank goodness. It was great. We had thousands at Magic Johnson Park. It was amazing. We also just had a wonderful experience on Friday, kind of in partnership with our guests, Department of Water and Power, and working in collaboration with our West Carson constituency, unincorporated community of West Carson. It's some of our participatory budgeting, where we believe in co-governance. Worked with the residents there of Watts Carson and their advisory committee, who decided how they wanted to spend some money that was made available to their community because of a development project. $300,000. And the community got together and decided they wanted to refresh their median along Normandy Avenue. So it's the Normandy Avenue Beautification Project, pulled up a lot of old, cracked, ugly asphalt. They've got 16 new trees, some beautiful new pavers in the median. The community came out, they were thrilled. And again, when the idea comes from community, we are thrilled to be able to bring the county family together and partner and make it happen. So that was something fun we did on Friday. I'm also just back, spent several days last week in Hot Nolens, ooh-wee, attending the National Association of Counties. NACO is the acronym. I want to thank our incoming president, Commissioner George Dunlap. That's President Dunlap and I, who will begin his one-year service of president of NACO. NACO represents all 3,069 counties across the country. He and I had been talking for a while about, some of our shared needs across the country, and I'm deeply proud. He created a new task force and named me as co-chair. So I'm going to spend the year as co-chair of the Youth Housing and Homelessness Task Force. That's, one issue regardless of what county you are, all over the country. It's an issue that we're all struggling with. And so I look forward to having the opportunity to work with commissioners and supervisors across the country to learn about solutions, to share some of the things we've come up with here in LA, and perhaps have some greater influence here at home, as well as share best practices across the country. Speaking of homeless, I'm sure you all saw the news this weekend. LASA's homeless count went public. We've got a number of people, thank you, Second District residents who joined with my team and other nonprofit organizations in the Second District to actually volunteer to conduct the homeless count. It takes a while for them to crunch the numbers. And unfortunately, we had a good 2-year trend where we saw reductions in our numbers of unhoused. And unfortunately, this year, we didn't see that. We didn't have a decrease, we had an increase. And the same happened for the county. I must say I'm deeply proud based on the work we are doing, and we are staying vigilant. In the Second District, we saw a decrease in the number of unhoused people living in RVs. Just in the past year, about 456, if I remember correctly, RVs were removed from the streets in the Second District. You know, we've been focusing on RVs in my district because we've got the lion's share of unhoused people living in RVs. I think you know about the RV safe housing, RV safe parking project pilot that we started in the second district. So I'm really glad. There's a picture of our safe parking lot right in the Crenshaw district. So I'm proud that we were able to see the number go down pretty significantly. But again, this is going to continue to be a crisis that we're going to have to continue to battle at every level of government. You know, the homeless count gives us a snapshot of what each neighborhood needs, but I'm clear that the true measure of success will be when all of our communities can see a visible decline and ultimately the end of homelessness to get to a, you know, a goal like Redondo Beach, where they've actually built enough emergency shelter beds, interim and permanent supportive housing to house all of the unhoused in Redondo Beach. They've effectively reached kind of zero. And so we hope that other communities and unincorporated communities will be able to do the same thing. So again, it was a setback. We had started a great 2-year trend, but it just says to me that we're going to have to continue to make sure that our new county department, the homelessness supportive housing HSH department, continues to prioritize the strategies that we know work. And while we're looking at funding cuts across the county, that we continue to prioritize the strategies that are getting people housed and keeping them housed. So that was a bit of a downer, but all that says to me is we've got to continue the work that we've started, and that's what I remain committed to do. Let me transition now to talk a little bit about our guest, and I think the valuable information that he's going to share, and it's a tool that I hope that you will consider using to help us help you in your community. This tool, it's one tool that we use in our fight to end homelessness, but it also is a tool to be used to really improve the quality of life for all residents, and it's the county's Works app. And that's run by our Department of Public Works. Get it? Works app. And it's the Department of Public Works. You can click there and you can download the app. We'll put that up later after you hear Mark talk a little bit about it and you see some of the features and how we are using it in our office, again, to address the quality of life. So let me introduce to you the director of LA County's Department of Public Works, Mark Pastrella. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Supervisor. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Are you sipping some tea or sipping something cool? I hope.
I'm sipping coffee, and I was telling you that my wife got into pottery. This is a cup that my wife made me.
That
Really
is
beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yeah. So,
So she's
she's an ex-county social worker, retired, and got into pottery in her retirement, and she's doing really cool stuff. So,
That's amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
You know, it's wonderful that we get to try things that we've always been curious about. My equivalent of pottery for your wife is quilting. I've always wanted to quilt, and I took my first quilting class last year and made my first quilt. So I think it's great. I'm not retired. Lucky Mrs. Estrella. I'm not
yeah,
retired yet, but good for her for finding something to exercise the creative side of her brain, particularly given the
yeah.
kind of work she did for the county, and thank her for her service for me, please.
I will. Thank you so much for recognizing her. Yeah.
So you and I had fun Friday. I text you. I don't think staff has it. My favorite picture ever of you and I watering the trees along Normandy Avenue. Then, of course, I took the watering can and tried to tilt it over on top of your head. I hope you enjoyed that picture as much as I did.
I did. You saw I got a kick out of it. I had a good laugh. I stopped and laughed. It was nice to get something like that from you on the weekend.
Good, good, good,
So
good.
it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Giving back to community and sharing that moment with you was really special.
So I appreciate you, and you know I appreciate the work of your team, particularly with regard to the Works app. So let's get into that so
Yeah.
my constituents know what it's about. So Could you share a little more about how the app, what the app covers, and how Public Works uses it to help serve our unincorporated communities?
Sure, Supervisor, thanks. And a really great opportunity for us to get this out to community as we strive to have service excellence with the communities that we serve across LA County. The Works app is really the easiest way for residents to connect and get services, not only from Public Works, believe it or not, but across the county. We've expanded the services throughout the county. It's a free app. It's available for both Apple and Android phones. And residents can report things like trash in the street, illegal dumpings, graffiti, potholes, blocked storm drains, overgrown trees, sidewalk and roadway issues. Anything that you see and you know is going to have an impact on you or others in the community, we'd like to know about it. And you can use this Works to get very quick response from us. It actually co-locates. If you take a picture with the app, it locates where the issue is. There's no people involved. It actually sends it electronically to us and right to our crews. And our crews take that work order and they get to work right away. In some cases, we resolve the issue within 24 hours. It's pretty amazing.
I love that for us. And let me just clarify, this is for unincorporated um, communities in LA County, not if you live in the city of LA or one of our other 87 cities.
It's a good point. It's something that we've known forever about this disconnect between the cities and county. If you do report on the Works a problem, we will route that to the city. But the service request time is on them. We also like to just make sure residents know, like they can write in and say, which community am I in? And we will write back saying that service request should go to this city with the phone number for them to contact. We're trying to close that gap in service across LA County.
I agree. I'm hearing some static. Lene and my comms team in the background. Sometime when Mark speaks, so I hope it's not interfering with other people being able to hear what he has to say. So what I find so valuable in terms of the app is the kind of data you can pull up and show me in the district. You and I had our kind of quarterly briefing a couple of weeks ago, and you showed this to me, and I was like, please come on Sippin' my tea, because I want my constituents to be able to see it. So this is a snapshot from the past quarter, correct? For 25, 26.
That's right, Supervisor, and thank you. That first shot was the quarter data in a bar graph. I'm hearing some static too both ways from you, just FYI, I heard you say that. This one is the quarters worth. So from April to June 30th, this chart here describes how many calls we had or incidents that we identified ourselves as we drove the streets. And so, for instance, if you read there, illegal dumping, we had 2,294 calls for service. It's incredible. Graffiti continues to be an issue with 1,205 graffiti calls. Tree trimming, people experiencing homelessness, 467, and potholes. Again, this isn't a 3-month period. I think we have another slide that shows like the whole year too. It's significant. And so here again, for a year, 8,000 calls of illegal dumping. And again, this is concerned residents using our Works app or calling us, or it's my own staff when we're proactively seeking to remove debris and trash before it becomes a problem community. Graffiti abatement, 4,500, tree trimming, people experiencing homelessness and potholes. Are you in the South area, South Los Angeles area, the unincorporated? These are the 5 top service requests. We get many more service requests, but these are the top 5, Supervisor.
And when you shared this with me, I was curious about comparing the second district numbers. We don't have slides for this, but comparing the second district numbers to countywide and to some of my colleagues, because, when I lean in and I am fighting for resources to address these issues, this is why, because I'm clear, and you made it plain for me that yes, the second district suffers at a higher level in terms of some of these quality of life challenges that the app tracks. You talked to me about trash removal and illegal dumping. And I hear that consistently from constituents and see
Mhm.
myself driving down the street and get pissed.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
gave me some pretty staggering numbers in terms of pounds. Can you share that with
Yeah.
everyone?
Yeah, this is a really heavy duty thing to think about. First, we try to educate people. We as Angelenos are continue. We produce per person about 6 pounds per day of trash. It doesn't become a problem if it's disposed of properly.
Hmm.
That what is disposed of improperly is staggering. For instance, we had 8,732 tons of trash removed in the second district alone in 25-26. That's more than 17 million pounds, and the weight of nearly 6,000 passenger vehicles. It's almost 900 fully loaded dump trucks. This is 2 to 3 truckloads every day for an entire year coming off the streets, being picked up and moved to landfills where it should go. We've been working really hard for residents and others to understand that there is a path to throwing away the materials properly. Their waste hauler provides through the county provides these services, and the residents pay for that service through either their property tax bill or their trash bill. And so one of the things we found is just educating people that there is a way. Make a phone call. Call 888 Clean LA. We help you find out how best to get rid of the material, because most people want to be responsible about this. We find it. But when you're stuck with a choice between, having this material and not knowing what to do with it, and then perhaps moving to a new location, it's sometimes easier just to leave it on the side of the street. And so we're making headway in this, but it remains a problem. It's been a problem for years, but we are getting better with your help, Supervisor, and your investment. The second district is making a dent in this illegal dumping.
We're working hard. I've got the separate contract. We've got our beautification project, and the little truck with my face on it goes around and tries to help you all in picking up the trash, because it's so frustrating because it is a quality of life issue and it is
Yes, it is.
preventable. And so we're
Yes.
working very hard in partnership with you to really kind of address that. And when you look at those numbers for the second district, you see why. I thought it was a wise use and an important investment to really try to help constituents. Last question, and I'll let you return to your Sunday evening and your hot cup of coffee. I can't imagine drinking some hot coffee, but yeah,
I'm like
you're a
that in the
coffee
afternoon.
lover,
I'll do.
clearly.
Yeah, yeah.
Last question for you. Is you're also a key part of the county's work group on our illegal street takeovers. And I think we have some pictures of street deterrents that were recently installed in the second district. There they are, the humps and bumps, and I'm sure they have more technical names than that. Thank you. And is there anything you want to share about this process? You've got a fantastic team. They've come to our town halls. They've listened to our residents. They've taken note of intersections where second district residents have talked about the takeovers. Again, we were making some progress. In summer months is when the takeovers seem to intensify, and in some areas of the district, they've done that. So talk to us about these deterrents that Public Works is piloting.
Sure, Supervisor. And let's start with the good news. I mean, based on your leadership and your focus on this, you put us to work. Really you gave us this challenge. And not only our department, but other departments, sheriff and others got together and really started thinking about what we could do more. In fact, we're down 33% from 2024 to 2025 and down 53% from 24 to 26 on street takeovers. This is a really good result. And it has to do with, again, we talked about this education, enforcement, and deterrence. And some of the deterrents you're seeing there are the projects like hardened center lines, flexible delineators, raised pavement markers, high visibility crosswalks, painted curb extensions, and one key thing, residents calling us with their concerns and also giving us intel, by the way, about what's going to happen, because as these are pop-up events. A lot of times we're on social media.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff put to work their team, and we were able to target specific intersections that were known, but also ones that are upcoming. and this has created a deterrent for people doing this dangerous activity. And it's one of these things. Street safety is so dastardly because I wake up every Monday morning to two more deaths in the street. It's one of the things in my career we've been we have this shared goal of 0 deaths in the street, and then here we have this act that is just very, very dangerous and very, very costly to deal with. And so thank you for prioritizing it. I think we've made a dent, but we have lots of work to do. Yeah.
We have. I appreciate you sharing those numbers. I think I've shared them previously. We just had an uptick in one community in the second district that got media attention. I'm glad it got media attention. I was happy to go on Channel 7 and talk about it in that community, to really talk about how unfair it is to the people who live in that community when outsiders come in and just take over their streets. So I appreciate the partnership. I appreciate you talking about those statistics, because we have made really, really good progress. So if somebody will put up the app again, I want to advertise Works app one more time. It is such a valuable tool. As you see, I'm proud of second district residents because clearly they're using it, given the numbers that you've seen. And I hope people realize, and you opened, Mark, by saying, in some instances, you can solve for the challenge in 24 hours. That's
Yes.
significant for any level of government. And a county the size of LA, given our land mass, that is really impressive. So I want people to know that, if you can look at those statistics, hey, I put the problem in, I used this app and it worked. So I really want to make sure that people use it, load it up on their phone so they can let you know when there's a problem in their community. Any closing remarks before I let you get back to your Sunday?
No, thank you, Supervisor. Thank you to the community of the second district and the County of Los Angeles for the privilege to serve. It's been my career here at the county, and we're making a difference every day thanks to leaders like Supervisor Mitchell in your lives. I hope you'll find us on the Works, and you won't actually need to know who we are, because we'll just take care of that service, and you can have your Sundays without worrying about street safety or about trash in the street. So again, Supervisor, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Cheers to your
Cheers.
coffee and my lemonade. All right,
Okay.
be well. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. So the Works app, please put that on your phone. And so when you see things out in the community, you can click on it, report it. In unincorporated communities, I hope people feel really good about that. I was struck by those sheer numbers when he showed me what's been happening, the number of reports, to give you a sense of the kind of challenges, the quality of life challenges that we suffer from, quite frankly, in the second district. And it was interesting to look at it across the county. It's different in many communities, but I'm pleased to have a responsive public works department that's out there, that understands, and that they're responding in a timely manner. A couple quick things before we sign off. There are a lot of changes going on at the county level in terms of county governance. And we want to make sure that you know how to get involved. I talk about co-governance all the time, and co means me and you. And so we want to give you a briefing on all the various ways in which you can get involved. So my team is going to host a virtual community meeting Wednesday, July 29th from 6 to 7:30. So you can know about things like the county's Independent Ethics Commission that's coming up. Actually, the deadline to apply for the county's Ethics Commission is today, Sunday, July 26th. So there should be a website. There it is. If you're curious and interested, put your application in. If you want to know other ways in which you could be involved actively in the county's expansion and work around how we are reframing county governance, please participate July 29th, 6 o'clock in our virtual meeting. And we've got the link to show the flyer that will show you how to do that. August, our Racial Justice Learning Exchange event is coming up. Wednesday, August 5th at 5 p.m. This event, the theme of this event is Stronger Together, Building Multiracial Solidarity for Collective Power. If you have not attended a RJLE, Racial Justice Learning Exchange event, in the past 6 years that we've been hosting them monthly, I hope that you would consider attending this one. When I look at social media, when I spend my Sunday morning watching all the national news shows, um, you know, multiracial solidarity and the whole concept of collective power is top of mind for me. It is. I hope it is top of mind for you. So I really want to encourage you to come out and see what it's all about. Those of you who've been coming, I appreciate you. Um, the August event will be in Hermosa Beach. There's the flyer. You know, we move around the entire county to really try to make sure that everyone, wherever you live in the second district, you have an opportunity to have an event in your own neighborhood. So we'll be in Hermosa Beach, and I encourage you all to come out and participate. So before I wind down, I really wanted to share some with you that just tickled my funny bone. Back in February, we had Zeta Daniel on from the nonprofit organization Rebuilding Together to talk about a grant she got for that would pay for free home improvement for seniors to help them stay safe in their own homes. And it was really funny because we had some technical difficulties. The technical difficulty was there was a fire alarm. It was a test going on in Zeta's complex. So we're in the middle of live sipping my tea like tonight, and the fire alarm is going off. And she was determined to get the information. Fortunately, it was not a real fire. It was just, one of those pre-scheduled tests. And to get this text to me from Dolores Spears a couple days ago, saying that she applied, she got the grant, she was so excited. The workers were there that day. It's kind of tiny. I hope you can see that. Doing the work in her home, work that she's been needing for a while. She was appreciative of sipping my tea. Otherwise, she wouldn't have known about the program. I'm like, let me cheers Dolores. Let me cheers Zeta and myself for sipping my tea and my comms team. Thank you all for creating this opportunity where you can just tune in for 20 minutes or so on a Sunday evening and get good information that will help you, that will help improve your quality of life. The whole focus of the program is to seniors make their homes safe for seniors to be able to stay there. And so Dolores was tickled pink, and so am I, in terms of the safety updates she was able to have installed at her home free of charge because of this great grant. So congratulations, Dolores. I hope it all worked out beautifully. So with that, everybody, I really appreciate you tuning in. We're on a new platform that I'm having to learn how to manage. I don't see any questions that have come through. Um, let's put the flyer back up for the Works app, because I don't want anybody to have reason to not know how to find that flyer. Thank you very much for putting that back up. You can click on that and make sure you know how to report. You heard him. Tree removal, street takeovers, trash removal, graffiti, any of those infrastructure issues in your unincorporated community that falls under the area of responsibility for Department of Public Works. And they are using this app to be able to identify those challenges and respond to them very quickly. Happy end of hot July. Looking forward to August, and I appreciate you joining me for today, sipping some ice cold lemonade. Be well, all.